You are listening to the Nosy Drag Inn. I'm your dungeon master / innkeeper, Jessup. I'm joined by my player / patron, Ben.
A hearty greetings.
In today's session, we talk all about expert classes. This episode was made possible in part by the Nosy Drag Inn. More about us later in the episode. Oh man, it's been a while.
Whew, it has. I've had something new come up in my life recently. I started taking classes.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, it's true. I was out of, the Bardic school for a long time, but I figured, I think it's okay to have, more than one class.
Are you coming out? It's a multi-classer?
Hey, you don't have to say it. So, I mean, I know we're the only persons in this tavern, and that is how it is every time that we're here, but you don't have to say it. Like, if someone at the window could hear, I don't know. I'm still a little self-conscious about it.
I just never thought.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I figured you didn't have the prerequisites.
Well, I've been doing a bit of growing recently. I didn't always have the highest decks, but being out there, you pick up a few things.
Well, man, I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
That's great.
It's a big change for sure, but I feel like I'm coming closer to being the real me.
I realized that I am an expert actually at cleaning cups.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of something dawned on me last night, and I was just like, you know what? I think I have a certain level of expertise that other people just don't have. I mean, just look how clean this cup is.
I mean, it's what cup? Oh,
exactly.
Oh wow.
Here, look, I'll pour some alcohol into it.
My God, it looks like it's just floating. What?
Yeah.
I always thought that it was just magic. You were somehow cleaning them that way, but wow.
I didn't even do this in 6 seconds. I just took 10.
Wow. You took 10 minutes to clean that glass.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Gotta respect it. Well, on that note, let's talk about today's topic. So, as I'm sure most of our listeners know, One D&D has been coming out slowly. We've been hearing a little bit. They said they're going to be giving us little tastes of what the rules are as they develop them and as it goes along. And just today, we had the Unearthed Arcana 2022 Expert Classes Expose.
Today is September 29th.
Yes.
As of recording.
And it's very, very exciting. There have been some pretty interesting additions and changes to this, and we're going to go over them today.
I can't wait to get into it.
Yes. So what it means by expert classes, the name of this particular installment for Unearthed Arcana, it means that of the 12 classes that are a part of Dungeons and Dragons, they have been grouped into various different types of class. So we have warriors, which are barbarians, fighters, and monks.
Called it.
Priests, which is clerics, druids, and paladins.
Missed it.
Mages, sorcerers, warlocks, and wizards.
Oh wow, there's 4. I thought there was going to be 3.
No. There are 4. So it's separated each of 4 groups. Each has 3 members. So there's the warriors, priests, mages, and then finally the experts. Bard, Ranger, and Rogue, which is what we're going to be taking a look at today. Now, there's a note that the Artificer is also going to be an expert. The class from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything and Eberron, so on and so forth. It's not in the traditional player's handbook, but that class is also going to be considered an expert.
Nice. Well, priest. Who is in the priest group? Let me guess. Cleric,
Right?
paladin.
Uh-huh.
That's all I got.
And Druid, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's interesting. You wouldn't really think of it of druids as being like priests, but
Yeah.
they
Priests of nature.
yeah, pretty much. Like it's
Priest in the bed.
Pray hallelujah. I think druid definitely moves into there as more of like a sort of nomad type priest, like a spiritual connection with nature, sort of.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. I never thought of a priest in that fashion, but
it makes sense.
I guess it's okay. So warrior, monk,
Yes,
barbarian,
Yes.
fighter,
obviously.
and then, which is interesting. I don't know if I would think of a monk as a warrior, but that definitely not a warrior.
Yeah, and then finally there was
Warlock,
mages,
wizards.
They have a small description
Sorcerers.
here. Yeah, sorcerer, warlock, wizard. So for experts, it's polymaths who have the expertise feature and elements of other classes. So the expertise feature is going to be something new that's added specifically for those 3 classes, which I think is something that makes a lot of sense for them. Mages are adepts of arcane magic, focusing on utility and destruction, which I think describes those 3 classes pretty well. Priests, which are stewards of divine or primal magic, focusing on healing, utility, and defense. So already they're listing the 3 spell list types: arcane for the mages, and then divine and primal for the priests. And then warriors, masters of combat who can deal and endure many wounds. So they're kind of already like setting aside the classes into, their own individual utilities. And then it branches out from there. Which, for someone who plays Dungeons and Dragons, that stuff already kind of makes sense. It's, if you're going to be picking a caster like a sorcerer or a wizard, most likely you're going to be either a utility wizard or you're going to be wanting to blow stuff up. But
yeah.
Something
they said in the overview video of expert classes, which you can actually watch me react to on our YouTube channel, Nosy Drag Inn, was that if you have now in a future party one of each group, you'll have a balanced party, right? So 1 warrior, 1 expert, 1 mage, and 1 priest.
Haha.
You'll be good to go. That ideally will be a balanced party,
like well-rounded. That's super. I think that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that you can. Of course, not everyone's gonna follow that standard, but it's nice that they have those kind of distinctions and recommendations laid out. A lot of this One D&D is based on recommendation, but nothing's kind of locked in as a rule, which I think is cool.
All right, so what's the first chunk of interest here?
So the first thing that I think is going to be the most interesting to talk about, I think it'd be good if we talk generally about what it takes to make a member of that class, and then let's just go one by one through the experts, because those are the ones that have had the big questions. So we'll go Bard, Ranger, and then Rogue.
Alrighty.
So for when you're creating a member of a class, there are, just like how it was before, it pretty much shows everything that's available to that class. Your starting proficiencies, your hit die, starting equipment, so on and so forth, and how to use multi-classing with it. But what's new for the different class descriptions is that they also have a list of recommended spells, which, every class has its spell list, but no one, like the recommendations of spells for that class is something that's brand new, that they brought in. So I'm curious to see what it is that they have for each one. As far as subclasses, they only describe one of the subclasses for each of these, but it says that all the older subclass features and subclass levels in the class, they all have the same progression. So it's going to be essentially, you can go back and do the 2014 Player's Handbook or any of the other rule books and use those subclasses for now until they update the newer subclasses.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they haven't added any subclasses.
No, I think they might have changed around some of the original like first subclasses that you get from the Player's Handbook, but we're going to take a look at those as we get in. So let's go ahead and start. Let's talk about the Bard. Now, I happen to be a bit of a Bard enthusiast myself, so when I saw that this guy was getting an update, I was very excited. Biggest change that I saw right off the bat was Bardic Inspiration. So, Bardic Inspiration, as it was in original Dungeons and Dragons, was if a character was making a roll, you could give that person inspiration. I believe it was as a bonus action, and then they could use your Bardic Inspiration die to add to their roll. That has changed. So, first level ability, Bardic Inspiration. You can use supernaturally inspire others through words, music, or dance. This inspiration is represented by your Bardic Inspiration die, which is a d6. Of course, that changes as it goes along. The ways that you can use Bardic Inspiration are boosting a d20 test. When another creature within 60 feet of you that you can see or hear fails a d20 test, you can use your reaction to give a creature Bardic Inspiration. That creature rolls that die and adds the number roll to the 20, potentially turning the failure into a success.
So it's still using the Bardic Inspiration dice.
Correct.
So like D4, D6, D8, D12.
Yeah, exactly. So you're still using the same dice, but instead of it being something that you add, like you state beforehand that you're giving someone Bardic Inspiration and they can use it on their roll, it's specifically when another creature, including yourself that you can see or hear, fails a d20 test, that you can use your Bardic Inspiration for them. So,
yeah,
I don't know. I think
that's pretty. It's pretty. I mean, it's kind of like how people like to use these abilities anyway, right? I can't tell you how many players go fail a skill check and then they go, wait, I have inspiration. Can I roll my, can I use my inspiration and roll another die for the advantage? And it's like, you've got to state it prior.
Yeah.
So having I failed, and then the bard being like, oh, let me give you Bardic Inspiration. That's how people like to use these abilities anyway. Because it sucks when you're like, oh, let me give you Bardic Inspiration. Use your Bardic Inspiration. They roll it, and then they roll a nat 20. It's like, oh, well, I just wasted my Bardic Inspiration.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think, not a bad change.
There's one other thing that makes it really cool, is that Bardic Inspiration isn't just used for boosting a d20 test anymore. It can also be used to heal. Immediately after another creature within 60 feet of you that you can see or hear takes damage, you can use your reaction to roll your Bardic Inspiration die and restore a number of hit points to the creature equal to the number rolled. So essentially, It's like, it's pretty much free healing. Because you can use it as a reaction.
The best time to use it is if someone goes down.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's like, well, why would I want to immediately heal another creature at, here, take a 1d8.
Boom, you're back up.
but I mean, like, if they're not gonna die, but if they're gonna die, then it's like, yeah, that's amazing that I can do it immediately.
I think that it's definitely going to make a big sort of shift for bard class users, because I think a lot of the time bards are used to sort of boost people, but they're not often seen as healers. This is like kind of something like that's immediately like, oh, this is one of the priest class, or sorry, this is one of the classes that you can use to heal and act as a real support to the rest of your group.
Yeah, I mean I don't know about I guess rangers have good berry, but artificers straight up have cure wounds. They can just cast cure wounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're definitely a support class.
Definitely. Um, so let's start taking a look at some of the features for this class as it goes along. Spell casting is pretty much exactly the same. However, they do have more recommendations. So for they call them prepared spells. So prepared spells, first level spell casting. You have the following spells prepared: Color Spray, Disguise Self, Prestidigitation, and Vicious Mockery. Alternatively, you can prepare 2 0-level spells and 2 first-level spells of your choice. Any spell that you prepare for this class must be an arcane spell. It must be from one of the following schools of magic: divination, enchantment, illusion, or transmutation. So now they're also adding limits to the schools of magic to which you can cast from.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I could see someone being like, "Oh, I'm a bard. Arcane includes Eldritch Blast. I'm gonna pick up Eldritch Blast as a level 1 bard, please." Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, they were trying to make it simpler, but I feel like this is almost more difficult. It was easier to just
choose from the bard list of spells.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, that's interesting. Bards and druids have some overlap. Cool. And it's like, but now I have to kind of do my own homework. They'll probably do a list anyway, right?
Like, yeah. I'm sure they'll have like, they'll be like, these are all the divination, enchantment, illusion, and transmutation spells in arcane that bards have access to. But
yeah, that makes sense. They probably show you the different schools of magic in the bard spell list, and it would just I don't know. It seems kind of like a useless kind of distinction then.
I guess. I don't know. But the thing is there are some abilities that specifically affect, like there's one in the Bard's toolkit that we'll get to that has to do with spell lists and spell schools. So we'll get to that. But at second level, and this is something that you're going to see consistently for all the expert classes, second level is expertise. You gain expertise in 2 of your skill proficiencies of your choice. Performance and persuasion are iconic choices for a bard if you have proficiency in them. So once again, big on the recommendations, but this means bards, rangers, and rogues all get expertise at second level for 2 proficiencies as their choice.
What was that, like third level before?
I think so.
Immediately, right?
Was it immediately?
I don't know.
Well, I remember expertise being something that I believe it was only rogues really had access to, right? Or was it more general that
rogues and bards have expertise?
Right. So rangers are the new group that have been added into that sort of key group. Just like
I guess the third level was it was what it was for bards.
Yeah.
Prior. So yeah, it's gotten a little easier to grab, I guess.
Yes.
But for rogues, it's at first level. We'll have to see if that's changed.
Yeah, let's take a look. We'll get to that very soon. Very, very soon. And then 3rd level, Bard subclass. That's about the same. 4th level is feat. So you gain the ability score improvement feat or another feat of your choice. This particular expose has a lot of feats. They have a whole list of them that we can take a look at and kind of see what's available.
Ability score improvement feat, huh? So there's no more ability score improvement. It's just a feat that you can grab when you level. So every time you get to a point that you would need to grab a feat or an ability score improvement, you just always grab a feat.
Pretty much, yeah. No matter what, it's a feat, even if it is the ability score improvement feat. So feats have become the main deal, the mainstream, instead of optional, which is cool. I think that works. 5th level, Jack of all trades. That's about the same. More subclass features. Font. 9th level, again, you can gain expertise in 2 more of your skill proficiencies.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Here, 11th level, magical secrets. You have collected magical knowledge from a wide spectrum of disciplines. Choose a spell list, arcane, divine, or primal. Whenever you prepare spells for this class, up to 2 of the spells you prepare can be from the chosen list and from any school of magic. The prepared spells otherwise follow the rules of your bard spellcasting feature. So, if I'm level 11, I can be like, all right, I want my bard to be more connected with nature, or I want my bard to be higher connected to the divinities. I'm going to choose divine magic, and I'm going to choose necrotic magic, and conjuration magic. Even though that's not originally from my list of choosable stuff, you can still access it. And that's anytime that you prepare spells. So even it might be worth it to choose arcane, because you can choose from any school of magic in that list, but you can only have one list you have access to with magical secrets.
Wow. Yeah, I guess it allows you to kind of freestyle a little bit as you get higher level.
That happens one more time at 15th level, where you get that magical secrets.
Further magical secrets.
To go even further beyond. Yeah.
Huh.
And then you have your 18th, 19th, and 20th level. 20th level is you gain the epic boon of luck feat or another epic boon feat of your choice. So epic boons are something that kind of replaces that 20th level
wow,
ability.
bards did not get... So yeah, they moved the 20th level ability to the 18th level ability, and then now at 20th level you get an epic boon instead of what you would have gotten at 20th level in the past, which is what you get at 18th. So wow, bards, superior bardic inspiration. When you roll initiative, you gain 2 expended uses of your bardic inspiration. That's kind of garbage. If I put 20 levels into bard and then it's like, finally. Or meanwhile, like rogues get like assassination,
yeah.
That's crazy, man.
It's not the best.
They get stroke of luck. So a rogue at 20th level, they have the uncanny knack of succeeding when they need to. If your attack misses a target within range, you can turn the miss into a hit. Alternatively, if you fail an ability check, you can treat the D20 roll as a 20. And then once you use this feature, you can't do it again until you do a long or a short rest.
Yeah. So
like that, or I get 2 more uses of initiative. It's kind of like...
I think the thing is at that point, your bardic inspiration die is so big. Like it's such a large die that it's like
Yeah, D12. Yeah, I mean it's not nothing, but it's also potentially could be a 1.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's true.
I give you a +1 as my 20th level ability.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
when you play it
not
like
super
that,
great. Where
it sounds pretty ass.
rogues with their stroke of luck, they're just like, I just succeed. You're welcome.
All right. I get you.
Yeah.
I get
So
it.
it's
You're trashing on parts.
pretty disappointing, I think. But now that you get to pick from a boon, you could be like, I get a 9th level spell slot.
Yeah, for sure. The boons definitely make things a little bit more interesting. It levels the playing field a lot.
Yeah. What
right.
spell will I choosing for my 9th level spell slot? Oh, wish, of course.
But of course. Prepared bard spells. So this is what I was talking about. Here is the bard spells list of things that they recommend. Look for your bard level and prepare the spells for that level and all lower bard levels. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can change these spells, as explained in the class's spellcasting feature. Another thing with spells that I learned recently, they'll touch this in rules as well, but ritual spells, you no longer need a ritual feat in order to cast a ritual spell. If the spell has a ritual feature, you can cast it as a ritual. Doesn't matter who has it or what the prerequisites are. I mean, you got to fill the prerequisites that the spell would need, but anyone can cast a spell as a ritual now. So, pretty cool. So 0 to 1st level spells, the cantrips they recommend are Prestidigitation and Vicious Mockery. Pretty classic. 1st level spells are Color Spray and Disguise
Sounds like
Self.
you're about to say that they suggest Vox Machina.
Yeah.
Podcast Vox Machina.
I mean, Prestidigitation and Vicious Mockery are pretty much Vox Machina all the way through. Yeah. Level 2 spells, Dissonant Whispers and Healing Word. Level 3 spells are Charm Person and then Blur and Shatter. 4th level spells they recommend are another cantrip, Minor Illusion. Wow, 4th level for Minor Illusion? 2nd level spells, Calm Emotions and Lesser Restoration. 5th level spells, Haste and Tongues. 3rd level spells, 6th level Bard, Major Image and Mass Healing Word. 7th level Bard is Compulsion. 8th level Bard is Freedom of Movement, Greater Invisibility. 9th level Bard, Polymorph Seeming. 11th and 12th is just one spell, Otto's Irresistible Dance. You must really like that one. As a 17th level Bard, what they recommend is Power Word Kill.
Yeah, I noticed that. Pretty weird.
Yeah. And at 20th level, they suggest the 7th level spell, Reverse Gravity.
Yeah. It's like, I could grab Wish. Can they? I don't know if bards can actually. I think maybe just wizards can grab Wish.
That might be a thing. I mean, they could if they, use that class feature.
The furthering secret magic.
Yeah. But all the same.
Huh.
Yeah, and then from everything that I know about the subclass, what I've read through, it seems just about the same as the College of Lore subclass. Yes. All right. So that's the Bard. I feel like there are some fun changes there. I really like the changes with Bardic Inspiration. I feel like that's super fun, and it makes a lot of sense. I am not as jazzed about that 18th level thing, but hey, it's superior. Grabbing a boon at 20th level. That's cool. Any thoughts on your end?
Yeah, no, I think the grabbing a boon kind of fixes a lot of the jankiness of the imbalance. I'll say the imbalance of reaching level 20.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, that's it. That's all. That's all we get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Mm.
Um, so I think it's a welcome idea. I think it's an interesting change. We'll have to see if the boon feats are
If
recognizable as themselves or if they've been nerfed.
if
Because
they're
if
worth
they've
it.
been, yeah, if they've been made worse, then it's like, no, this doesn't fix anything.
This is the problem. We're going backwards.
That's what we were trying to avoid.
All right, but we're getting there. Let's talk about Ranger because I feel like this is the one that's undergone the most change. Because I think this for a long time was considered one of the marshals. It was kind of like an in between.
Well,
Didn't really
actually,
fit.
before we get into Ranger, something that has gone under a lot of change recently is the Nosy Drag Inn
Ah.
itself. I'd like to get into this week's sponsor, which is the Nosy Drag Inn. Yeah, so the Nosy Drag Inn is a Airbnb, um, which means that you can get here uh, through air travel. So we now have griffins that will pick you up to come stay at our tavern. We have this adorable little location where we're at. So the Nosy Drag Inn, the inn itself, the Nosy Drag Inn is in this beautiful little nook in the mountains. We have a gorgeous river that runs through the back, collects into a lake, and then separates into four more little streams. And they're just all of them are so relaxing. There is a natural hot spring that we were able to put in. How do you put in a natural hot spring? I know it's pretty cool, but we were able to find a natural, thing, fill it up. Anyway, it's a thing, but it's beautiful. It's lovely. It's warm. And just in general, the sunset is to die for. Beautiful. So just staying, but actually, our food has been rated quite highly.
Mm.
We have 4 Michelin stars, which is crazy. I mean, like, I've never heard of a
4?
restaurant. Yeah, I've never heard of another restaurant having more than 3. So like, we're
No, I
like,
thought they only went up to for 3. That's crazy. I mean, it makes sense.
oh really?
Yeah.
I I thought I thought they were just really hard to please.
No, I was pretty sure that the cap was 3.
Oh, okay. Well, we're the first restaurant in history.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
Michelin's
also,
hard.
I don't want to brag or anything, but given that I'm an ancient gold dragon, there's also some regional effects that are just really beautiful, really, really nice. So basically, whenever anyone falls asleep or enters like a trance or kind of a deep meditation state, or just having a party or just that awesome reverie, within 6 miles of the tavern, they establish a telepathic link with me, and I can converse with you in your dreams, and you can remember this conversation. So I'm no professional counselor, but if you want to go deep into your subconscious and work some stuff out, I'm here for you, man. So that's something that we can offer. That just, I mean, what other tavern or inn can really, offer something as amazing as um, lucid dreams? Basically, is what we're offering.
I was I had some extreme serious PTSD from my adventures before I came to this tavern. And since I've been here, I always thought it was just some magical effect of sleeping here that helped work through all that. But no, it was just really solid, like, advice and conversation and introspection. It's really good.
Yeah. Actually, I needed to see a therapist after entering your dreams, but
Oh,
yeah.
sorry about that.
This also, we have this gorgeous mist. It's been referred to as banks of beautiful opalescent mist that manifests within 6 miles of the Nosy Drag Inn, which I can't argue with. It is pretty beautiful mist. Yeah, and it doesn't obscure anything, but it's just kind of this nice, kind of beautiful, kind of ambient mist, not the creepy kind. However, speaking of the creepy kind, it assumes kind of a haunting form whenever evil creatures are near me or any non-evil creatures that are in the mist, warning them of such dangerous creatures.
That's why it looks like that around Josh. I was always wondering. I thought he just had some like bad cologne or something, like he didn't shower enough. Ah,
No,
yeah, that makes
no,
sense.
those are their inner demons
Mm.
manifesting in the mist.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah, also gems and pearls within 1 mile of the Nosy Dragon sparkle and gleam, shedding dim light in a 5 foot radius. So,
Wow. That's Oh. Oh, that's what's lighting up this place. Oh my god. I was wondering like cuz it's not like traditional torches around here.
mhm.
Oh, man. Wow, so that well, I guess I don't want to tell too many people about pearls sitting on your chandelier, but
Yeah, well, I mean, most of these are diamonds, which I mean, they were relatively worthless at the time when we built the tavern, like 1,000 years ago, but they've gone up in value pretty decent amount. So,
huh. Well, congratulations. I'm sure the value just keeps adding on this place. I mean, I've come here for years. I'm only a human, so I don't have the longest lifespan. But for as long, or no, I'm an. My cousin's a human. He doesn't have the longest lifespan, but for all the time that he's been here, he's absolutely loved it.
yeah, I'm not sure. I can't tell. Like sometimes I look at you, I feel like you're a dwarf or a human or a gnome or a halfling.
Sometimes I forget too. You know, I think 'cause I haven't seen my parents in a long time, and they've had some complicated romantic history. So your guess is as good as mine.
We'll have to uh, what's the name of that spell? I guess legend lore would work too. Identify. Cast identify, and you find out what you are. Anyway, yeah. So come book a room, the Nosy Drag Inn today, and you'll enjoy the stay. I promise. It'll be great.
That's our guarantee.
All right, let's get back into expert classes. Let's talk about those rangers.
Yes. So for rangers, something very interesting is at first level, rangers get expertise. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be the same situation with rogues, is that first level you get your expertise, along with your other first level ability, which for
I'll go ahead and spoil it for you and say yes, the rogues do get expertise.
Great, good to know. So that's something that you guys can look forward to. I feel like the ranger is, especially in the past versions, they've been such a slow to take class. I haven't seen a lot of people going for rangers recently, and that might just be in my experience, but for anyone who knows the game,
rangers, I typically thought of a ranger as a ranged class martial, right?
Yeah.
A distance martial, kind of like the World of Warcraft hunter. Someone who is good with animals and stuff and has like a sidekick pet, and then uses guns or bows and arrows or crossbows to support combat from a distance, and using their beast to distract in the upfront, kind of as a thing. Fifth edition doesn't really do that, and rangers are relatively good, when it comes to being long distance, but a fighter with that subclass.
yeah.
I don't know what is it. I don't know what subclass it is. It's like the bowman or something like that.
Yeah.
There's a fighter subclass that is just so good.
It just pretty much makes rangers obsolete as far as like an actual
fighters just
shooting
make
capacity.
better rangers.
Well, hopefully that's not the case. That's what we're looking here for, to see if that's taken a change. So first level, rangers get expertise, they get favored enemy, and they get access to spellcasting. So for favored enemy, the way that it's worded here is you are adept at focusing your ire on a single foe. You always have the Hunter's Mark spell prepared, and it doesn't count against the number of spells you can prepare. Moreover, you don't have to concentrate on the spell once you cast it. It lasts for its full duration until you end it as a bonus action or until you are incapacitated. So, I don't
So is it? Well, I guess that's any questions I have are answered right there. So favorite enemy is no longer like, what was he get advantage against an enemy that you chose, like, oh, dark elves
Yeah, yeah.
or
No,
dragons.
yeah, exactly. You choose, like, I think it was like you choose two monster types, and then you're good against those types. So, but that's not the case anymore. No, it's just straight up. You pick a target, you get Hunter's Mark on it, and it
So now
doesn't
favorite
count
enemy
towards
means like I
anything.
favor a particular enemy in this combat.
Yeah, exactly.
That guy over there, he's my favorite enemy until he's dead.
Mm-hmm. He's my favorite, and he's getting fucked.
Wow. So you can just kind of focus fire on a particular creature.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's I think it's a good change because as long in times that I've had rangers in the past, either running them in a D&D campaign or playing them, it rarely comes up. Uh,
Wow.
like
Well, yeah, no, this is good. This makes friggin' Rangers that much closer to being a good choice if you want to play as a good cat. It's just kind of like an oath bow.
yeah, exactly. It's like baby's first oath poe. But yeah, no, playing like a ranged like class that specializes in attacking from a long way away, like a sniper. That's like
Yeah.
boom, right off the bat. That's something that's
So
going to help you with that.
Hunter's Mark, for those who don't know, because I didn't know, that's why I looked it up. You choose a creature you can see within range and mystically mark it as your quarry. I'm not sure. Until the spell ends, you deal an extra 1d6 to damage to the target whenever you hit with a weapon attack,
Mm.
and have advantage on wisdom perception or wisdom survival checks you make to find it. If it drops to 0 hit points before the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on a subsequent turn of yours to mark a new creature. So, also that goes up in effectiveness at higher levels. It lasts longer, which is, I guess, I suppose. Has a range of 90 feet, concentration up to 1 hour. But the first level favorite enemy thing allows Hunter's Mark to not use concentration.
Yeah, that is huge. That is nice. You can just pick a target and be like, boom, extra d6 every time. Can't hide from me. Or at least it's going to have a lot harder time hiding.
Yeah, disadvantage hiding.
Which is awesome. I think that's a great addition.
You can run and you can hide, but
it's going to be a lot harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. It's a welcome change. Nice little buff. It's nice. It's not enough. But it's nice.
That's nice.
Let's see what else they got.
Second level, fighting style. You have honed your martial prowess. You gain one of the two following fighting style feats of your choice: archery, defense, or two-weapon fighting. Whenever you gain a feat at higher levels, the fighting style feats are among your options, even though you aren't a member of the warrior group. Cool. So, right off the bat, if you want to play like a Legolas type, like elf ranger, you can choose archery, and then at 4th level, you can go straight for two-weapon fighting. So you got those cool 2 twin elven daggers, and you're just a badass with a bow. It's interesting that at second, like, essentially you get the feat before anyone else. Like, you get a martial feat before anyone else, because this is at 2nd level instead of 4th.
Interesting. So you could pick a fighter's fighting style.
Yeah.
Which means that thing we were just harping on them for, that fighters can pick a fighting style, and you can pick archery, which allows you to gain a +2 bonus to your attack rolls made with ranged weapons.
Mm.
That's that whole thing I was joking about. They have that now.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
Damn. There you go.
Fighters are no longer the best ranged person.
There you go. I think they probably saw that exact problem that you mentioned, and they were like, "Yeah, that doesn't make sense. What should we do? I don't know, give it to the Rangers. Let them have it, and let it happen sooner."
Wow.
Nice. Awesome. And then the Ranger subclass here, I think that has changed. So we'll take a look at that later on.
Well, I'm pretty sure fighters pick a fighting style at level 1. Yeah, they pick a fighter style at level 1. So, Ranger picks it up at level 2s. So, still a level 1 fighter and Ranger are still, which it's level 1.
It's not gonna make much difference now.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's cool. I think being able to be like, yes, I want to be a damn good archer, and then bam, you can take it second level, yours.
Wow, that's beautiful. Makes me think I might just want to pick up a couple of levels of Ranger with my artificer.
Maybe. You do a lot of ranged attacks. Oh god. Anyways, let's keep moving forward. So 7th level is the next big thing. Roving. Your speed increases by 10 feet while you aren't wearing heavy armor, which they aren't traditionally proficient in anyways. You also have a climb speed and a swim speed equal to your speed.
Okay, so this is them fixing that whole in your favored terrain, you don't get slowed down by difficult terrain, and it's like,
great,
cool,
nice. When are we going back to that desert plane? Never.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, my Ranger's backstory stuff, he's a sailor, and this, this whole campaign has been in the Underdark. So.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was beneficial. I've had players, benefit from favored terrain and favorite enemies, but it's slim. So now it's just like, nope, just static bonus.
I think that was one of the biggest weaknesses of the Ranger, is so much of their abilities were completely situational depending on where you were and who you were fighting against. I think
it was very thematic, right? Because it's like, oh well, I protect this forest, and so I know it like the back of my hand, and that's why I don't get slowed down, because I'm so familiar with this terrain.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, well, the adventure's not going to happen in your forest, so let's go. And it's like,
wait, what?
Oh,
yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, I think that it's a great way to open up
the forest from the orcs. It's like, okay, well, in this continent, orcs are the primary race, but they're also the most benevolent and kind. And so really they're just NPCs. The real monsters and stuff we fight are almost never going to be orcs in this setting. It's like, oh. Okay, well.
Can I make a warlock? Can I change my character sheet?
My new favorite enemy is the Dungeon Master.
If only. Well, I mean, technically that's the case now. Hunter's Mark, baby. Then a 9th level, once again, get 2 more skills that you have expertise in. 11th level, Tireless. Primal forces now help fuel you on your journeys, granting you the following benefits. Temporary hit points. Whenever you finish a short or a long rest, you can give yourself a number of temporary hit points equal to 1d8 plus your proficiency bonus. Decrease exhaustion. If you are exhausted when you finish a short rest, your level of exhaustion decreases by 1. That's pretty big.
It's thematically interesting. It's not like, oh my god, I cannot wait to level up to level 11 because I'm going to get that tireless feature, and then I'm going to get to be able to decrease my exhaustion whenever I want at the end of a long rest. Oh my god, so far.
Yeah.
So definitely not that.
And in fact, when we start reading through the exhaustion levels feature,
especially because exhaustion has been nerfed, it's just kind of like,
yeah,
it's definitely, again, rangers are very thematically cool because we all know what a ranger is, right?
Yeah.
But just
in fact, you know what, let's take a quick look down and just explain that that difference, because I think that is one of the biggest changes with exhaustion. So let's go ahead and goes down to rules. Here we go. Exhausted condition. While you are subjected to the exhausted condition, known in older books as exhaustion, you experience the following effects. This exhaustion is cumulative. Each time you receive it, you gain 1 level of exhaustion. You die if your exhaustion reaches level 10. And sorry, not reaches. If your exhaustion exceeds level 10. So...
Oh, so you can have 11... Well, you can have 10 levels of exhaustion, and the 11th is what kills you.
Yeah, that's what it's saying.
Wow. That's a lot of exhaustion, dude.
It's a lot.
Never gonna kill a player with exhaustion.
Pretty much, the previous levels of exhaustion went only up to 6, I believe.
Yeah, at six you died.
At 6 you died.
So there were 5 levels of exhaustion.
So now there are 10, and listen to this. This is what exhaustion does now.
There are 11 now.
When you make a D20 test, you subtract your exhaustion level from the D20 roll. Spell save DC is effective. Subtract your exhaustion level from the spell save DC of any spell you cast. That's it. Those are the effects of exhaustion. There's no more. Your speed is halved. There's no more disadvantage on all rolls. No more, your movement could have been zeroed for exhaustion. You could be literally unable to move. They took out all concepts of movement restrictions coming with exhaustion. Yeah. And it's pretty much just a minus to your rolls.
And you could have reduced your movement by 1 for every level of exhaustion.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That totally could have worked. And even then, you would have only gotten 10 feet minus. So you'd still move 20 feet. It's also hard to kind of calculate 1 foot difference because you travel in increments of 5 feet.
Yeah. I was like, round it up. So it's just 5 levels of exhaustion. 1 level of exhaustion reduces your movement speed by 5.
Yeah.
Until you get to 6 levels of exhaustion, then it reduces your speed by 10.
Yeah.
And then you die.
That is a pretty big jump, isn't it? Like, I have a minus 10 to my rolls. I'm dead.
Yeah. It's a little, I don't know.
I don't know if I completely agree with it.
The 6 level exhaustion in the past, there was a very clear path to how tired you were getting.
Yeah.
It's just not like that anymore. I don't know. We'll have to see. Have to give it a shot. I mean, exhaustion comes up pretty rarely, all things considered. So
yeah, I mean, it might
monsters don't have abilities that can do exhaustion. I mean, maybe that's what's coming.
That might be the case. I feel like this is some sort of precursor to something, because they wouldn't have changed it unless people were complaining about it. And I don't think anybody was really complaining like, oh, the exhaustion system sucks.
This changes. I think exhaustion is pretty detrimental in a way that again, it's like, I'm saying again, but we're not. Let me give this example. If you get exhaustion, you have disadvantage on ability checks as your first level. Mm. The chance of you getting exhaustion again now has just gone up exponentially. It's because doubled. if you're making Constitution saving throws, right, to make your way through a frozen tundra or a hot desert or whatever, your chances of getting another level of exhaustion by failing that Constitution saving throw just doubled.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that by having it just be a -1, that's not such a huge penalty that it's like, oh, now I'm just gonna die. Like if you get in a condition in a setting where you're just gonna keep getting levels of exhaustion, if you keep making fails, your chances of failure are just go up and up and up and up and up.
Well, that's actually, you have to be at 3rd level in order to get disadvantage on saving throws. Level 1 is just disadvantage on ability checks, so you can still roll.
Okay.
So number
and then
1,
level 2 is attacks.
No, level 2 is speed is halved. Then level 3 is attacks and saving throws.
Oh, I sit corrected.
You mentioned that and I was like, hold on, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Because like I feel like that makes a lot of sense. Like 1, disadvantage on ability checks. Yes, you're exhausted. It's going to be hard to do things that you normally do well. But you can still move quickly and you can still attack and protect yourself fine. 2, speed is halved. Now, this exhaustion's really getting to you. You know, it's hard to move as well. And then finally, level 3 is like, you are severely exhausted. This is a pretty serious detriment to you. Like, you need to stop and you need to take a break because you can't attack and you can't protect yourself effectively. Number 4 is hit point maximum halved. You are literally easier to kill. And then 5 is speed is reduced to 0. Like, you literally can't move. I feel like going from speed reduced to 0 to death makes a lot of sense. Like, you're gonna not move before you die.
Yeah, if you're that tired.
Exactly. I don't know. I felt like that kind of progression made a lot of sense, considering that there wasn't a lot of things that gave you exhaustion anyways. And you could... It also... The thing is, to end the condition, you need to finish a long rest, and that removes 1 level of exhaustion. That means if you're going through a dungeon, let's say you have like 5 levels of exhaustion, it's going to take 5 long rests in order to completely get yourself back to normal. Like, that's kind of a long time when it comes to an adventure.
Yeah, it's like you're kind of stuck with it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's okay since it's not really that bad of a detriment anyways, but just the fact that it takes so long, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like in some ways it balances itself out, but in other ways it just becomes kind of obsolete anyways.
Yeah. I think it's an okay change. I don't know if it's like, you know, it's not groundbreaking or whatever. It's just kind of like, okay, interesting. We'll see.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I definitely feel like the penalties of exhaustion were pretty scary, which was kind of good and also made me as a DM very scared to use them. So I think that
yeah,
it's kind of like it's good because it's like, oh, this is something really scary can hold over you. No matter what level you are, you're going to be afraid of exhaustion. But you know, it's kind of declawed it, defanged it a little, but that's okay.
All right, agree to disagree. I don't like it. I think it needs. I like the previous version, but I can definitely see your points as well. Let's see.
I mean, they're just trying to make it less complicated. So I feel like I'm empathizing from that perspective of like, oh, they're just trying to streamline stuff and make it simple. So I see that and I'm like, that works. That's one way to do it because you have to memorize the different. I've been playing D&D for 5 years and we went over the exhaustion rules and I got it wrong.
I see. Yeah, it definitely does make it easier to keep track of because then if you just check your exhaustion level and then you subtract it from your rolls, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it.
So I agree. The original exhaustion is very dynamic and interesting and storytelling, right? It like really narrates what's happening to you as you're exhausted. You need to stop and you need to rest. But I feel like it's a lot to remember, especially for a new player.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, you just minus your exhaustion level from your roll, all of your rolls. It's like, oh. Got it.
Yeah. Well, is what it is. I mean, I let me not judge it before we try it. Like, this is we're definitely going to be playtesting this, and then we can come back with how it feels. Which I recommend that everyone who's doing D&D give a try and send your feedback because that's the only way that we're going to get One D&D to really be what we want it to be.
Better D&D.
Better D&D. Yeah.
All right.
Are there any ones that I mean, you've got it pulled up now, I imagine. Are there any that strike your fancy that are interesting?
I'd like to take a peek at the epic boons. Did you look at any of them, or any of them? Did any of them stand out?
I did take a look at some of the epic boons. I know we didn't really get through all of it today. There's a lot. There's still the whole new rogue class as well. So we may have to do a part 2 on this, but I think it's good if we quickly take a look at boons because they're fun. Here we go. Epic boon. So, just as a general saying, if we didn't explain it earlier, epic boons are 20th level feats. Feats now have levels. You can only get them at certain levels, and they do have some of them do have prerequisites, and some of them are repeatable, and all of that is listed in this feats description. So epic boons are 20th level feats. You can only get them at 20th level, and there are all sorts of different kinds. Some are great, some are just okay. So, like here, epic boon of combat prowess. When you miss with a melee attack, you can hit instead. Once you use this benefit, you can't use it again until you roll initiative. That's pretty interesting. Nice. Like, I feel like there are so few features that are tied to initiative rolls. Like, it's either how many times per day or, short rest, long rest.
4th edition played around a lot with that, and it was good. It was challenging because they played around with it so much. There were so many things you had to remember. Like, but yeah, basically they didn't do long rests to regain abilities. It was just at the end of combat you got your stuff back. So it made like resources far more expendable, because you're like, well, I'm not terrified that I'm going to need it for the boss battle, because as long as the initiative is broken up between this encounter and the boss fight, I'll have my resources back.
Aha. Gotcha.
So I think that if we're leaning that way, I think it's okay. I think it's a cool mechanic. Then definitely add some versatility to stuff that normally kind of gets ignored.
Cool. Yeah, I have no issue with that. I think it's the concept of someone starting combat and then ending it kind of in the middle and then restarting combat in order to get a feature back is a pretty charm person. I see you as an ally now. Let's quickly end combat.
Yeah, let me drink this healing potion. All right. I roll a hit. Bam. Okay, roll initiative.
Yes.
Nice. It's all according to plan.
That's great.
Hey, you see here, epic boon of skill proficiency. You gain proficiency in all skills. I guess it's pretty. I mean, level 20. What's that, like level +6 or something?
Yeah. I think so. +6. Meanwhile, epic boon of dimensional travel. You can cast the Misty Step spell without expending a spell slot. Yeah. Once you use this benefit, you can't use it again until you roll initiative or finish a long or short rest. I mean,
roll initiative, cool.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say finish, and I was like, all right, that's useless, garbage, trash. Oh, actually.
Yeah. I mean, it does mean that you get to use it more often, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that
it's definitely a thing.
Yeah, it definitely is a thing. It's I think initiative takes a lot of things and makes it interesting.
Epic boon of fortitude. Your hit point maximum increases by 40. In addition, whenever you regain hit points, you regain additional hit points equal to your constitution modifier.
Whoa, and that's
oh man. You can regain these additional hit points no more than once per round.
That's still great.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh
that's
my
really
god.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
any kind of healing, any at all, you get to add your Constitution modifier for. That's cool.
Yeah. 20th level barbarian with the tough feat. And epic boon of fortitude. So much health.
Oh, heal me! I want more.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah.
Epic boon of irresistible offense. The damage deal always ignores resistance. I mean, that's just great. That's just solid.
There needs to be an epic boon of like damage reduction. Damage reduction is something that was it's just been removed from 5th edition, and I miss it.
Yeah.
Miss it from 3.5, man.
Oh, epic boon of peerless aim. If you make a ranged attack against a target in range and miss, you can cause the attack to hit instead. That's great. You can take the coolness of the combat prowess for melee and just be like, yeah, no, I want my ranger to snipe and always hit.
Wow. And you can use it again after you roll initiative.
Damn straight. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Be like, okay, I shoot the big bad evil guy in the head, and then your DM's like, you try, roll to hit. It's like, no, I just hit. I mean, I can roll to see if I crit if you want, but I'm gonna hit.
Yeah.
I use my arrow of my Slayer arrow. I poison the arrow.
Yeah, as long as it's a big enough shot. It's adamantine tipped. It's it's magic. It's +3 ammo.
Oil of sharpness.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's also a spell like infuse elements or something like that. There's some sort of spell that you can do an additional 1d4 or 1d6 elemental damage, like fire or electric, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you're like, and I'm gonna hunter's mark him.
Oh my god. Just
here we go.
The death kill shot.
Yeah.
That's a kill shot. Epic. Okay, now, real quick, is the epic boon of recovery better or worse than the epic boon of fortitude? As a bonus action, you can use a bonus action to regain a number of hit points equal to half your hit point maximum. And once you use this benefit, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. In addition, you succeed on every death saving throw that isn't the roll of a 1.
Wow.
That's kind of crazy.
Wow. It's a bonus action. You get a number of hit points equal to half your hit point maximum. Jeez Louise.
I feel like...
Oh my. It's very competitive, right?
Yeah.
And also these are not exclusive. So typically what boons were used for in the past was when you leveled up after 20. It's like, well, if you can't really go to 21, but when your DM wants to reward you guys as if you were leveling up to 21, they would give you a boon.
Right.
That's what the Dungeon Master's Guide suggests you use these epic boons for, because epic boons have been a thing since 2014, guys. If you didn't know.
They've been around, but now it's like at level 20 you get one, like,
yeah,
guaranteed.
So they're not exclusive, right? So you could get the epic boon of fortitude and then the epic boon of
I do not ever want to meet a barbarian with that setup. That is
you get an orc barbarian. I just refuse to die. I think like an orc barbarian of the bear totem would like effectively have like 500 health or something like that.
Yeah.
With the tough feat as well. That's at least maximum constitution.
Actually ridiculous.
I don't know, because 40 HP is a lot, right? 40 HP is not half of your health, but it's a significant amount.
Yeah.
At 20th level, if you're a fortitude-y kind of guy, and if you have a balanced party and there's someone healing you, or if you carry healing potions, or if you use any kind of thing that you could heal yourself with, right? Then those that constitution modifier being added is nothing to look away from, nothing to ignore.
It's pretty solid. You could take, like, literally it would make more sense for you to buy like 40 like level 1 health potions, then like maybe 4 maximum or like max level, like greater health potions, because you would get your constitution modifier on every one.
+5 to +6 potentially.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to do them a lot. Like, I mean, it would take a long time, turn. But you would
once per round.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you have a healer in the party, your paladin in the party could do lay on hands, expend 1 hit point, and it would give you
it's literally in TF2 when the medic supercharges the heavy and they become invincible.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's kind of like that. So yeah, I think the epic boon of recovery is kind of better, because if you drop to 0, it helps you survive longer, right? If you're the death guy that you're just always running in and constantly getting downed, once you finally run out of getting downed, right, you don't really have to be all that afraid of death saving throws anymore.
Yeah,
as you're just going to succeed as long as you're rolling at 1. So you have a 5% chance to die. Pretty low. And then you can just, as a bonus action, just boop, I'm half my health back, as like one of those, undying barbarians. It's one of those things to do. So I think it's like, oh, I'm about to die, I'm gonna use a bonus action.
No, I'm not. Yeah.
So I think it's really cool. I think they both have flavor in their own way. I think the epic boon of fortitude is maybe like more like a fighter choice, possibly, because it's like, I'm not planning on dying anytime soon. I have tons of armor.
Yeah.
Fighting style kind of a thing, or where like the epic boon of recovery definitely feels like, yeah, you're wild, run in and
take everything, get down, get back up, and then take everything again.
Wow.
Super interesting. And then there's some boring ones, but yeah, we'll get to it.
I wish we could go over all of these things and talk about all of their nitty-gritty details, because I love D&D and I love talking to you.
I love talking to you too.
I meant the audience, Ben.
Oh.
I like talking to you too, Ben.
Sorry. That was where the conversation goes.
But all good things have to come to an end. Yeah, just drop, if you aren't watching us on YouTube, just let us know in the comments if you want us to do a part 2 where we just cover all it. We go over the rogue and then go over more of the feats that they changed and some of the spells.
Yeah,
guidance has been updated. Ooh. So if you want that, just let us know. And if you're watching us on Spotify or stuff and you can't interact, just go to YouTube. It's not that hard.
Yeah, we're always there. You can take your time. Shoot us a message and we'll get it. We'll read it.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and listening to this episode of the Nosy Drag Inn. Ben, get out of my tavern.
I will. I'll step out into that beautiful mist and peer over the 4 lakes that run down the mountainside, and I will have my day.
Because it's free.
Damn it. All right. I'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.
What?